taking a ride, aren't you? Rolling up a steak and going to Vegas.
Welcome to the #1 poker radio show in the world. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. 1 full hour of poker news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises. Now let's bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Sorry, everybody. Dutch Boyd asking me technical questions before we go on the air here. What's up, you guys? Hey, we are live here at the World Series of Poker. The three-time
What's up, Tyler?
World Series of Poker bracelet winner. I think I'm like, so yeah, we're good. Dutch Boyd.
What's up, everybody?
Sitting in with us for a little bit.
It's great to see you, Mark.
I bet it's great to see. They think it's great to see you too. How's it going, brother?
It's going okay. Just got knocked out of the turbo. Every other tournament, feels like a new shot, but it feels like I've been having a bad summer. 1 cash so far out of like 9 events, so it's been a little slow. And I had Michelle tell me that the other day, she was like, you're going to be streaming that online event on Twitch in exactly a month, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
It's really early, actually, in the series. It
is.
Feels like it's late, but it's not.
I
We've
agree.
only been here for like a week and a half.
I think
now,
it was
like
the Colossus that, it just the thing being out here in the hallways and seeing all the activity going on, it almost felt like it was the main event. It had that feel to it.
Yeah, it
and I
did.
don't know if that's kind of like it's thrown everybody off at this point, because it really was, that whole thing was so exhausting. It's just, everybody was just excited, and so many people here, and the activity. It felt like it was at the end of the series instead of the beginning, so I think we're all kind of on a loop.
And, it's been a little slow. We've got another event to go today at 4 o'clock, and hopefully I'll just hit that one out of the park. Last year I didn't actually really have that strong cash until event 33.
Mm-hmm.
But, at least I did cash. So I've been able to keep up that streak. I've had a cash every year since 2008.
Nice.
Which was the 1 year where I just completely whiffed it. So very first event out the gate, I know it's not going to be a whiff. I know it's not going to be that kind of series. But a min cash isn't going to do it.
I was just talking to you off the air about everybody not running the camera over, and that guy gave it a serious run.
Hey, he almost just ran into it.
Ran into the pole there. Thank God it's not the tripod. But yeah, that's a terrific streak, Dutch, and I think it's really nice to, even though it's only 1 cash, it's good for you guys when you're playing 30 or 40 events to get that on the board right away, so you're off the schneid and you don't feel like you have to sweat it quite so much. Because I tell you what, that the difference between not having the cash, even having 1 cash as opposed to none, is just so mentally draining.
At least you get the streak, continuing. I want to keep that streak going for another 20, 30 years.
That'd be all right. So, yeah, I'll tell you what, an interesting tournament here for the Millionaire Maker. Numbers down a little bit, apparently. I think we're off about 8% last year. But and that's not really surprising, though, with the Colossus and everything, I don't think.
Well, the Colossus was just such numbers, it was amazing. But I think it also kind of, gave some false confidence to everybody in thinking that the numbers aren't down. I think that the numbers are down this year.
Mm-hmm.
If you start looking at most of the events, there's been a couple that were up. I think the Raz event had a little bit of a tick up. But for the most part, numbers are down. And I saw a really good story by Donnie Peters on Poker News a little while ago about how, if you're going to make some prop bets about the main event entrance, the smart money is that it's going to be a little bit down this year.
I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that. I think you guys are onto something there for sure. I don't know. I think, like I said, I think a lot of people just poured everything into the Colossus, and and the amateurs. That's the one disadvantage that you have in running a tournament like that, is those amateur players who may be coming out to pick a weekend that they're going to play a 1500. Now got off easy. You only had to play a 565. No, didn't have to blow their budgets and got to play their World Series event, and they're gone.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. It's still amazing out here. You know, the numbers are still huge, even though they're down a little bit. And it's not, the World Series of poker's fault. It's just poker in general. Yeah. I mean, there's a real strong correlation between the World Series numbers and the WPT numbers and the EPT numbers, and everything's just a little bit down this year, a little bit.
Well, and there's so many series going on, too. I mean, playing Hollywood, which is part of the Caesars family, running that big series over there with the...
Yeah, which it sounds amazing. I haven't actually gone over there. I've been meaning to go check it out. But I heard that they missed a guarantee the other day by quite a margin. So it's a great value for players over there. If you're not going to be playing the World Series, I would definitely suggest going to play over there. I think Aria has some good stuff. The only place you should not play is Venetian. Don't go play at Venetian.
Thank you.
Jeez, every single time you walk into the Venetian and buy into a tournament, you are giving money directly to the fight against poker. So don't do it. Gosh, every single time someone says, "Oh, I just banked a deep stack tournament over the Venetian," I can't say good job. I can't say good job because it's like you shouldn't have even been playing there. You are supporting the enemy. It's like it's just. I still don't understand how people can just like walk in there and feel good about sitting down and playing, and then be like, "Oh, I wish poker were legal these days." And
right,
it's just like they completely cut themselves off from the Sheldon Adelson push against online poker, and the money that they are giving to Sheldon Adelson. There's this disconnect. I mean, I can understand it. It's not like you sit down in a tournament, you see it's a good value. That's all they're thinking. They're like, it's a good value. The room is pretty. The staff is pretty cool. They run tournaments well over.
And they take care of their players over there too. I mean, they really do.
Yeah. So there's a huge disconnect. It's kind of like when you walk into, you walk into a Walmart and you buy a T-shirt and you don't quite realize, oh, this came from a sweatshop.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's kind of like that. You go buy an iPhone and you don't put it together that people are throwing themselves off of buildings in Shenzhen because of your iPhone. You don't put it together. And I'm guilty of all that. I'm wearing a T-shirt that's made in Thailand or wherever. I have my little iPhone 5S going on that I love playing on. But if there's one thing that directly affects me, it's Sheldon Adelson's push to restore the American Wire Act, which would completely kill online poker here in the States. It would probably mean the end of Poker Stars, actually, because I think Amaya has put so much of their bet on regulation happening in America that if that weren't to happen, Poker Stars would be in a real bad the future of Poker Stars would be pretty dismal.
Yeah.
And it would just really have repercussions all over the place, and it's just, So
I mean, there's a million places to play. There's a million places to
go. There's so many places to play here. Play at Planet Hollywood if you're not going to go for the bracelet hunt. Play the deep stacks if you don't have the bankroll to take shots at these bracelets. But don't go play a Venetian. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to every other player around you. You owe it to the future of this game that we love not to go spend $1 at the Venetian or Palazzo this summer.
Yeah, I agree. And especially, and it was always one thing that was really tough for me with the Venetian thing was I really good friends with Kathy Raymond, who used to run the room. And, you hate to be saying things to bash Kathy, something that Kathy's running over there, but now she's out. Man, I got no problem at all ramming that down. I mean, you know how I felt about it before, but it's just now that Kathy's gone, it's like, I don't have to beat up my friend too while I'm saying don't play at the Venetian. But yeah, I don't understand why poker players can't get it organized and together. It's easy to jump. Here's a perfect example of something going on right now that drives me nuts. I know Alan Kessler was just telling me on the site that shall remain nameless. We know that site, the little forum site. It's got the couple of numbers in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
We can say it, 2 + 2.
Okay, you said it, I didn't. And somebody put up a condolence thing about Eskimo Clark passing.
Which I didn't even know he was dead.
I didn't know either until Chad put that story up. Nobody did.
No one knew. I knew when I saw Nolan Dalla write about his little story about smoking in the airport.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, how did that not break? I mean, here's a 3-time World Series of Poker bracelet winner, and this is not like, this is not like a Skolansky 3-time bracelet winner where he won it back in 1982 and 83. This is like late 90s, early 2000s, where like it was kind of, it was in kind of today's post round.
Yeah, people knew who Eskimo Clark was.
Yeah, everyone knew him.
Yeah,
and for the most part, even though he kind of had a reputation of overselling action and doing some kind of shady things a little bit, he was generally liked. I hope that he's up railing that big game in the sky.
Yeah.
Well, I was surprised though that didn't come out earlier.
I know
he died in April.
It's stunning.
Yeah.
But so there's a thread up there, and people just started pounding on the poor guy, and saying all these terrible things about him, how much of a scumbag he was, and the whole deal. And I'm like, man, just let the guy go. We can do that in poker where we'll bash anybody until their corpse is lying in the street. But when it comes to something important like not playing at the Venetian, we can't get it together. What is up with that?
I don't
know. That is the exact answer right there. Scratch the head and shake it. That's all good. But yeah, so all sorts of cool stuff going on. Hey, but I'll tell you what, we had some good events here yesterday. We had a few final tables that weren't too bad.
Did you Sean Deeb winning a bracelet?
How about that? Yeah,
let's. Is that his first bracelet? Or
that is his first bracelet. Well,
congratulations, Sean Deeb. It's been a long time coming. That guy has put in his hours, put in his time, played so much volume that he even played the ladies event.
Yes.
Going for that bracelet.
Yep.
And he finally got the bracelet in the pot limit hold'em. Nicely done, Sean Deeb. Hats off to you, and congratulations. Welcome to the club.
You bet. Well, let's see who made it to the club over the past couple of days here. Event number 13, that was the $2,500 Omaha 7-card stud high-low 8 or better. God, I've got to come up with a freaking abbreviation for that. There's got to be something. I can't even breathe after I'm done saying that.
08 stud 8.
Okay, thank you.
The 08 stud 8 event.
Can't they shorten it on there, though? Because I have to read the official title. But Konstantin Maslach wins that event.
I was really surprised at how many names I didn't recognize at the final table of this 08 stud 8
I know.
event. Because
usually
that's
it's loaded.
A tough event.
Yeah.
You got Omaha high-low and stud high-low, which are generally kind of slow chip movement. They're not like luck sack games.
Right.
Because of the split pot nature, you generally have a pretty high skill level at these games. In my opinion, I feel like stud 8 has a little more skill involved than 08, just because there's a lot more. 08 is so much more dependent on pre-flop hand selection. Mm-hmm. Where stud 8, you can represent hands, and it's so much more about board texture and tracking up cards, that kind of thing. But they're both high level skill games, good structure in that tournament. I was really surprised at the number of names I didn't recognize at the final table.
Yeah, well, Maslach wins that event.
Have you had you heard of him before?
I didn't, but I'll tell you what. He wins his first World Series of bracelet, $269,612.
Not a bad score.
Hits his 8th cash overall, 3rd this year already, so he's off to a pretty hot start here.
He's 3rd in POY?
I don't know about the POI. We're going to pull that up.
I'm kind of interested to see, because
third cash guy. If Paul Volpe, and honest to God, I really want to do this. I did not want to see the standings until we were on the air live, so I get the live reaction to it. Because if Paul Volpe is not at the top of the WSOP Player of the Year race right now, I'm going to freak out, because there was some controversy about how that was being tabulated this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's so top heavy to buy in.
Right.
It's just kind of ridiculous. You were showing me the other day how the number one person had 2 9ths in 10Ks.
Yep.
Which basically means that he's buried right now.
Yeah.
And yet because he's playing 10Ks rather than winning the Colossus or winning the Millionaire Maker, a 9th in a 10K is just as many points as winning Colossus, right?
Yeah, it's something like that. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, I haven't seen it since the Colossus got finished up either.
It just goes to show how flawed the GPI point system is. And even though I love the idea of being able to track poker results, you can't just look at who the way that the GPI works is very much based on the number of tournaments you enter, mm-hmm. and how big of a buy-in those tournaments are. It doesn't take into account things like ROI. It doesn't take into account things like slugging percentage, where you got Phil Ivey, who is if he makes the final table, more often than not he's actually winning it.
Yeah.
You know, like Eric Seidel, who if he cashes like 10% of the time, he actually wins the event he cashes in. And, you know, you've got these guys who have just an incredible ROI. Then you got these guys who play everything. And every 100K, they play it. Every 50K, every 25K, every 10K, they play it. Maybe they're ahead, maybe they're not. Doesn't matter. As long as they play a lot, and the events that they play are high buy-in, they're going to be listed super, super heavy, super, super high on the GPI as one of the top poker players in the world. So I think that what the GPI really says is who are the most active players in the world.
That's a good point.
I don't really think is what we should be tracking. Who cares if someone plays every single 100K if they're buried? You know, if you have an in the money percentage of 8%, but you play every 100K, you're going to be in the top.
That's a stat that I would really love somebody to find a way to incorporate, is being able to track how many tournaments you're actually playing and what your return on investment is in your overall game, as opposed to just seeing your cash numbers, because that can be so deceptive. I mean, look, if I go out and look, I cash in 5 tournaments in 2 months, but I played 47.
Yeah.
It's not so good, you know. But
no, it's not so good.
Yeah.
It's good if you're selling yourself at markup rather than having makeup, you know, which is like, I'll tell you, one of the reasons why I think that we don't see those numbers is because they're embarrassing to a lot of players.
Right.
You have a bad series and you have a minus 80% ROI. You carry that minus, that negative ROI for 2 or 3 series until you finally actually win a bracelet, and then it turns around. It's embarrassing. I remember 2 years ago, Quad Jacks had a database that they were kind of in beta testing, because the World Series was actually releasing entrants. Mm-hmm. So you could actually go on the entrance list and see everybody who was entering a tournament, and you take that and you compare it to whoever cashed, and you actually do see a pretty, a good ROI.
Yep.
And it was, it was a little bit embarrassing for most players.
Well, and it's tough to look at for most players anyway, because it's very few players out on the tournament circuit can make that positive ROI. It just doesn't. Yeah. It's very difficult to do, and I think it'd be tough for the industry, period, if something like that actually got up, because then people outside the industry would actually see, wow, it's not easy at all.
I think that
breaks the illusion.
There's a lot of people who have every incentive not to have that information out.
Yep.
But I think that that information should be out, because that's how you need to track tournament players. Yep. You need to track them based on something more than just how many events they played, because that's what the GPI does right now.
Yep.
So it's I love what Alex Dreyfus is doing.
I do too.
And the fact that it's flawed doesn't mean that it's better than nothing. Like it is better than nothing. Having something in place that's trying to track poker and sportify the game. It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, it definitely needs to change, because let's look at the point standings. Like you said.
Yeah. We'll get to these results and then we'll check out the point standings.
Yeah.
This will be fun. Well, let's just real quick on that event 13 final table. Maslach wins. Hani Awad, who was leading that, they had to come back and play 3-handed. Awad comes in second, picks up 166,583, followed by Benjamin Dobson. The master of the cash, Vyacheslav Zhukov. This guy just cashes everything. It's ridiculous. Finishes fourth. Tuan Vo in fifth. Brandon Pastor in sixth.
Is he the one who got the 11 cashes a few years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, he's legit.
Yep. Chris Birchby in seventh. Jose Paz Gutierrez in eighth. And Glenn Engelbert finishing ninth. Yes, that was kind of an interesting little group there on that final
everybody there,
table.
the only one I recognize is the guy, the Russian.
Yeah.
With the 11 cashes the other. Is that fair to say?
That is very fair to say. Event number 14, got to give congratulations to a guy that I see all the time down in Florida. Finally gets that big win. Barry Hutter wins the Event 14 $1,500 no-limit Hold'em shootout.
Congratulations, Barry.
Yeah, and that is a guy who is down at Seminole Hard Rock. I see him all the time, and he's so consistent. He's always in the mix every event that he plays. And very happy to see him get his bracelet. I think he should be receiving that here in just a couple of minutes across from us here at the Brasilia Room. Beats Ben Zamani for second. Dennis Phillips comes close. The D-man nearly makes it, and he was actually out in front of this event for a while. He finishes third. Kitty Cowell.
So third was 160?
113.
113.
Yep.
So that's going to pay for the rest of the series for him.
He's good.
And it's good to see Dennis Phillips, a hometown Missouri boy, actually come out and do well. Great ambassador to the game.
He is.
I can't, there's very few players out there that I would actually put in that category because he's just, he has chosen to make this a career, and he, brings so much positive attention and is always like, smiling and happy, and I feel like we can learn a lot from him. Okay, can I tell you a story?
Sure.
Yesterday, was it yesterday? It was 2 days ago in the Millionaire Maker Day. It was the first flight of the Millionaire Maker. And I got to admit, I was not a good ambassador to the game.
Mm-hmm.
I was sat in the Miranda, and there's Johnny Monette running to the turbo. What a beast. He looks like
incredible.
Rip Van Winkle this year with the beard.
Yeah, how about that?
Looks like he hasn't had a shave since last summer. Engaged now to Diana Cox.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Congratulations.
In the media circles, she was a reporter for Card Player. I think she still works for Card Player. She's around the series. So, wow, what a player he is. 2-time World Series of Poker bracelet winner. One of the most underrated players in the world right now, in my opinion.
I know. I mean, every year at the World Series, you just see this guy, and all around, actually.
Yeah.
You see him just
and
in
I'll
the
tell you
tops
what's awesome
all the time. It's
about
ridiculous.
Johnny Monette is he started from the absolute bottom. When I first met him, it was 2005, and he was grinding out 25-cent, 50-cent limit online. And wow, now he plays the 1K, 2K here at Aria, and just crushes the game, just all the way up. So it's really cool seeing him take time from the cash games to actually engage in the bracelet hunt.
He's darn good at it too. Yeah. And let's see the rest of that table. Katie Kyle finishing 4th, and Elizabeth Montazanti finishing 5th, so a couple ladies making a top 5 finish in that event. Nice. Orson Young finishing 6th, Anton Smirnov in 7th, Daniel Strelitz in 8th, Grayson Ramage in 9th in that one. Barry Hutter picking up $283,000.
Grayson Ramage?
Yeah, I've heard that name before. He's popped up here every once in a while.
What a great poker name that
is. That is a great name,
Grayson Ramage.
Ah! Just makes you want to punch somebody, Grayson Ramage.
Little shorts, Chris.
No comment. I wasn't saying a word about
you
that.
You were thinking it.
Oh, wow. But that event 15, one of what could end up being the most star-studded final table of this series. It's going to be hard to top this one. Of course, Sean Deeb.
Well, I mean, let's also be fair here. There were 128 runners in this event, which basically means that the only people who started it were stars.
Well, the boys got the job done. Deeb wins that bracelet. $318,857 finally breaks through and wins that World Series of Poker bracelet. It's been
really
eluding
happy to see him do it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, 128 players. 128 players. You got the Colossus with 20,000 entrants, and then you got a bracelet for 128. And you look at the GPI player of the year race, and you see who has more points. Does Ray Hansen have more points than Sean Deeb this year?
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out because he should. He should.
Yeah, you would think. Nearly beating 22,000. Yeah, I would agree. Deeb edges out Paul Volpe. Volpe just having an amazing World Series this year, coming back, finishing 2nd again. So this is
two second places,
2 second places
which
so
should
far.
Put him at the top.
You would think.
Yeah,
he's got another final table too, if I remember right. Jason Les finishing 3rd. That was his 2nd, I think, top 5 finish in the series so far. Followed by Sam Stein, Greg Merson, Dario Sammartino.
Greg Merson, this is his 2nd big final table, right?
Yep.
5th and 3rd.
Mm-hmm. Krista Jonas Andrulis, just going to go with that, from Lithuania, finishes in 7th. Ismail Bojang, who always seems like he's in the hunt for every event he plays, finishes 8th. Jason Kuhn had to be a little bit disappointed, was leading this event going into the final table, and finishes 9th. So I'm sure Kuhn not too happy next couple of days here.
He's having a good year, though.
Oh, he's having a great year. Well, it was funny. I remember I saw him really early in the year where he just couldn't catch a card to save his life and was in a horrible run, and then all of a sudden went in that 3-month run where everything went right for him. But a tough one there for Kuhn, finishing 9th, and Tom Marchese finishes 10th on that. So another nice run for Tom Marchese here at the World Series of Poker.
So we get to see the Player of the Year? Do we get to see it?
We're almost there.
We're almost there.
Almost there. Got to mention a couple of the other tournaments going on. We got the Event 17 $10,000 Raz tournament Brock Parker, as of yesterday, well, I guess, yeah, that should be updated. Leading the way, 145,000. Abe Masari up there, Hani Awad, Yuri Maravita.
God, I would love to play this. Look at that, 103 entrants.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Mickey Doft got into this tournament.
Let me tell you, I have a lot of people asking me advice for like what's the best way to win a bracelet? What's the best way? Like how can I give myself the best chance to win a bracelet? And the answer is always go out, find some sort of way to make a lot of money and play as many of the big 10K events as you can. Because you can be a huge dog in these events and still have a much better shot of winning a bracelet. And like if you're that much worse than the field in a 10K Raz event, where 103 entrants, you might have maybe a 1 in 300 shot of winning a bracelet.
Yeah.
You keep on playing those, eventually you're going to get multiple bracelets, and you're going to just be known as like one of the best in the world.
That'd be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they got the money, go for it. Let's see who else is up there. Trevor Jones, Yehuda Buckhalter, Steve Bilirakis, Par Hildebrand, Dan Shack. Your top 10. Sean Deeb in there at 5th place right now. So, boy, maybe Deeb goes back-to-back.
Maybe. He's got a good shot, right? There's 64 players in it.
We can dream on that one. Event 18, that one just getting rolling. $1,000 Turbo No Limit Hold'em. That's playing out today. Listing 1,643 entries in that.
Got knocked out of.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mention that.
But pretty brutal.
But obviously, chip count's still totally pointless to even put those up there.
Even looking at.
Not even worth it.
Because they're 2 hours in.
Millionaire Maker just got into the money about a little over half an hour ago. They have some cash in their pockets over there. 7,275 entries in that one. Prize pool is $7 million.
Any big names of the top 20?
142. Let's take a look. Well, Christian Pham listed as your leader right now, 350. Kevin McColgan in second, 280. Kelly Minkin, I know Kelly, of course, she finished third at the WPT event down at Seminole Hard Rock a little while ago. Minkin in third place, and Brian Rast right now in 5th.
Brian Rast, he just keeps on building these huge stacks early on, but I think that he must be super buried for the series. If you look, I think he only has like 2 caches, and they're both min caches. Same with Antonio, he's just been right up there in these big, huge field, no-limit events, and has been able to accumulate a hell of a lot of chips really early. And has had some pretty disappointing finishes. I think that both of these guys must be playing really, really well, and I think it's just a matter of time before they. I expect both of them to break through this summer for real strong 6-figure caches.
There you go. Yeah, that'd be Then Brian Rast, of course, is good friends at Zen Poker Mentoring over there.
Which I'm part of the team.
You are.
I found that out a couple weeks before the series when I actually checked their site out.
You're just
saw my picture up.
I was like, oh, I'm on. Hey, how about that? There we go.
Still not doing any actual hand clinics or anything yet. I sent Ace McFarland, the guy who runs things over there, my schedule and days off, and he assures me that I will be part of some training something.
There you go.
Soon.
Hopefully it's not puppy training or anything like that.
Hopefully it's not after the series. I would like to actually do something before the end of the summer.
That would be nice. Let's see who else we've got up here. Notables, just run down the list here. Mark Herm is up there in 17th. Rex Clinkscales at 23rd. Justin Bonomo in there. Jeff Madsen.
Justin Bonomo, Jeff Madsen, both. You know what? I think it might be Jeff Madsen's birthday today, too.
Oh, yeah?
It's either today or the 9th. I think he was planning on having a birthday party tonight. Maybe he'll be missing that.
He might be.
A big millionaire moneymaker cash.
Wouldn't blame him. Let's see who else we've got there. Shannon Shore, Paul Sokoloff, Hoyt Corkins still in there. Mike Sexton making a nice run. Doc Sands, Shannon Shore, Jen Shahade with Grindettes in there too. Martin Finger in there. Phil Galfond, Joe Kuther, Chris Conrad, Jonathan Dimmick, who won the Millionaire Maker a couple last year, is back in there.
Making a run at it.
So he's trying to do it again. That would be all right. There's a lot of great players left, and that's still a long way to go. Let me look at that prize pool there, too, real quick. And they did go over the $1 million first-place guarantee on that. Winner picks up $1,277,193.
Really good. It was going to be a really sad day if the Millionaire Maker did not award $1 million for first.
That would have been kind of breaking the rules on that. Yeah, because it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's guaranteed. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We need to get a commercial break in. We're going to come back, and we're going to pull up those Player of the Year standings.
I'm pretty sure that guarantee had a little asterisk next to it, by the way.
Oh, it might have. You never know.
I'm pretty sure that the Millionaire Maker had $1 million guaranteed for first, asterisk. And if you read the very fine print, it's saying that the Millionaire Maker is only going to award $1 million if it's over a certain amount. I'm pretty sure. We were just talking about you.
Hey, it's Ace.
We were just talking about this gentleman just now, like
No, we were
2 minutes ago on
were.
the show. We were talking about Zen and Ace McFarland, how awesome it is to be part of the Zen Poker mentoring team.
Yeah,
It truly was.
yeah, we plugged it. Absolutely. Well, don't get beklimped on my table. All right, enough people have done
There's only
that.
three things I have to plug. It's a pleasure. 3 things I have to plug: Zen Poker Mentoring for your poker training.
Yeah.
ZenPokerMentoring.com. You got to do Blue Shark Optics, part of Blue Shark Optics for to cover those eyes when you're playing players who pay attention to things like blink frequency and pupil dilation. I don't think there's a player out there who can control their pupil dilation. So if you're playing against a guy who can spot that, best pop on those Blue Shark Optics. And then my own book, Poker Tilt, PokerTilt.com. Those are my 3 plugs.
Fantastic book.
Well, that's the one that's making me money at this point. So
It's a cycle.
Yeah.
You know, for everybody else, you'll hit it soon. I have all the confidence in you guys.
Nice.
And you too, Mark. The Mark Hope.
I'm doing all right. Hanging in there. Hanging in there. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's get this break in because we are dying to get to these Player of the Year standings.
okay, let's do it.
I want to see this. So we're going to pull that up for you. Ace, good to see you, my friend. So let's hit the commercial break, and we'll be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show. We're live from the World Series of Poker, the home of making dreams and crushing souls, right after this.
PokerShop.com is your one-stop shop for all your poker and game room needs. PokerShop.com has you covered with an incredible variety of poker chips and supplies, top-quality playing cards, plus gaming tables and room accessories, just like you'd find in your favorite casino. And if you're looking to spruce up your man cave, we offer a wide selection of decor options, from lighting to mirrors and portable bars to bub stools, to make your game room the one all your friends and family will be talking about. So for everything you need to make your game night a great night, go to www.pokershop.com and receive 10% off your purchase with the code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You supply your friends. We supply everything else. Live it. Love it. PokerShop.com. There's nothing better than sitting down to play poker with good friends and cutting loose. And that's what you're going to find when you tune in to Poker Night in America. Poker Night in America is revolutionizing televised poker in a big way, with all the action you love and the hilarious fun you've been missing. Come take a seat at the table with all your favorite players, old and new, with Poker Night in America. Mondays, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on CBS Sports Network. And don't forget to visit the show online at PokerNight.com. So pull up a chair and join us Mondays on Poker Night in America. Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages, or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go? Heads up, everyone. It's time for the ABC Chinese Poker App Tip of the Day.
Try to make a good hand in all 3 rows. That's what makes the game both fun and challenging. Except for a big pair on top for Fantasyland, try to improve all the rows, not just maximize one while neglecting the others. For example, it's usually good to pass on a flush on the bottom if you can improve another row significantly instead. you have plenty of chances to catch the fifth diamond later.
Want to get in on the Chinese poker action with over 1 million games played every day? Download the ABC Chinese Poker app on your iPhone or iPad today. From Vegas to Miami and all over the world, it's the #1 Chinese poker app, ABC Chinese Poker.
Only a donkey would call my pre-flop bet with a deuce tray.
Hey, deuce tray is my lucky hand, and besides, they were suited. Man, I played that hand great.
That was a real share my pair hand.
Share My Pair, the best way to share your poker stories with friends, for free. Available from the iTunes App Store and Google Play. Download the app now.
Nevada poker players, it's time to get in the game with the Nevada Poker League. Play for free to win cash at every location, plus you also can win poker cruises and even a $10,000 World Series of Poker main event seat. It's a great way to play poker at no risk, make new friends, and build up your poker bankroll. The Nevada Poker League is never closed and is running games 7 days a week at a location near you. So what are you waiting for? Visit the NevadaPokerLeague.com right now for all the info. Don't wait. Play poker for free and cash in today with your friends at the Nevada Poker League.
Most poker websites drop you into a sea of videos and it's choose your own adventure time. You learn a lot of great moves from pros, but they don't teach you how they fit into your game. Isn't there a better way to learn tournament poker? We think so, and that's exactly what you'll get at thepokeracademy.com. It's a completely different kind of training site. We teach you how all the tactics of tournament play fit together into a comprehensive strategy topped by a 2-time WSOP bracelet winner. Use the link thepokeracademy.com/mark to get a free 166-page course guide when you sign up. That's thepokeracademy.com/Mark.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
All right, and we are back, everybody, live at the World Series of Poker, hanging out between the Brasilia, Jesus Christ, the Brasilia room and the poker kitchen, doing our thing. I am Mark Hoke, in case you haven't seen me before. Maybe you haven't, I don't know where you've been in poker last year. But, of course, we got this guy right here. Always got to turn that mic on, Dutch. I know where.
And I am Dutch Boyd.
He is Dutch Boyd.
I had kind of a funny thing happen at the table the other day.
Oh.
It was in the Colossus, day 1 of the Colossus. No, day 2 of the Colossus, my first bullet in the Colossus. And I sit down, start playing a few orbits. And I end up getting it all in with a guy drawn to 3 outs on the flop, and he ends up hitting it. So I get crippled, real small. And there's a guy across the table. He looks at me. He looks at me. He goes, "You're Dutch Boyd. Not a lot of people around here know, but I know." Big smile, just like that.
Speaking of big smiles, one of the happiest guys around.
You're in good company.
Justin Oliver out here. Beer in hand. That's a
bracelet winner.
He's wearing the toque and he's got the beer in the hand. That is ultimate Canada right there.
Represents American beer though.
That's all right. We didn't have to tell anybody that. You just did.
How's your summer going, Justin?
You know what? I am here. I'm having fun.
He's here. He's having fun.
Series. I'm playing tournaments. I get to play, and nothing big yet, but it's coming.
Yeah.
He just got married.
It's an honor just to compete.
Yeah, it's an honor to compete. That's what I keep telling myself.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, you boys have fun.
Hey, good to see you, buddy.
Have a good summer, Justin.
You too, guys.
We'll see him again soon, I'm sure.
We'll see him forever.
Nicest guy in
He's
the
never
world, I
leaving.
swear.
He's never leaving. He's here, a local reg here in Vegas now. Just got married to a Canadian.
Yep. Sweetheart of a girl. I met her last year. Terrific. Boy, he definitely went up the food chain on that one.
Yeah, Justin's a cool guy.
Yeah, he did all right. Okay, I have the standings.
Okay.
They're under this tab. I saw the first couple names.
Let's see them.
Are you
Let's
ready?
See 'em. I'm ready.
Are you
I'm
excited?
Ready. I'm ready to
Are you
see like
excited?
the big names in poker. Who's having the best summer here? Let's find out.
Button. Boom. Here it is. All right. Your 2015 GPI WSOP Player of the Year standings, updated as of this morning. Paul Volpe is leading the way, and he's got a nice little lead right now too. But I think the one thing everybody's got to get used to is these points. They're larger than what they've been in the past. It's just bigger numbers. Volpe at 1,053.69 points, leading the way. One cool thing I love about the chart, by the way, is that it lists. You just put your little cursor on the name, and it lists all their caches.
Just
Even though
like
Volpe,
hover?
it did.
Hover over it, or
Yeah,
do
it
you
did.
have to actually like
it did hover. There we go.
that is nice. So you can just mouse over hover.
Uh-huh.
It has a little JavaScript. It's like, hey, this is who Paul Volpe is.
Volpe has 3 caches so far, all in 10Ks. Runner-up in the event 15 that we talked about. Runner-up in event number 10. That was the 10K heads up, which he came up short on that. And 12th place in the 10K triple draw low ball limit tournament, event number 7. So Volpe out in front right now. Not shocking at this point with those 2 big second-place finishes.
Very good summer so far.
Barry Hutter is now in second, coming off his victory. With the win in event number 14, the $1,500 shootout. 12th place in the heads-up championship event. Kind of weird, 12th. That's an odd number. And then, of course, a 5K tournament finished 14th. Cash for
14th, 12th,
20,000.
and now first puts him in a strong second place.
Yep. Greg Merson is in third. Merson with 2 final tables here, a 4th and a 5th and a 5K and a 10K, and then finished 35th in the Hyper Turbo event. So Merson
I just feel like they should firsts should be so much more than seconds.
Yeah.
Out here in the World Series, I don't want to see someone have a Player of the Year win without an actual win. I don't want to.
I mean, unless they had so many major caches, somebody racked up 7 final tables, or something ridiculous like that. Yeah, I mean,
How can you have a World Series of Poker Player of the Year who didn't add to his bracelet count? I just don't. I don't know.
I hear you. I mean, I hear you. I'm just saying, what if somebody made 7 final tables? Wouldn't you say that would, even though he didn't win, that's a hell of an accomplishment?
There's a lot of people who've had, really, really strong summers. I remember Alan Kessler having like 3 or 4 final tables a few years ago. I had 3 final tables one year. I just think if you don't win a bracelet, you shouldn't have a great big banner on the wall.
That's a legitimate point.
Yeah.
I hear you. Ismail Bojang is now in 4th. Bojang with 3 caches. A 3rd place in event number 7, the Do 7 Triple Draw Limit.
Still so super early, though.
Yeah.
It's really anybody's game. There's still so many 10Ks left to go. So.
Yeah. Jason Lesson 5th, David Peters in 6th, Bryn Kinney in 7th.
Bryn Kinney. I don't know if you were watching the updates or watching that live stream of that first. It was the 5K, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
But the way that Bryn Kinney actually ended up going out is they both ended up hitting a flush. He had like a 9 high flush, and his opponent had a jack high flush on a 10 and a queen. So they both were like, it's just notched. And Bryn Kinney went ahead and fired out a bet, and his opponent shoved all in. And Bryn tanked with that flush. Heads up, he tanked with it because he just felt like it wasn't good. But then he was like, about half the time he's got me notched, about the other half I have him notched. Let's just do it. And but the fact that he was even considering folding a flush heads up, it wasn't like it was a 4 flush board.
Yeah,
there were 3 hearts on that board, and there was also a straight possible on that board. I mean, there were a lot of hands where someone could be feeling strong and not be beating his flush. I really respected the fact that Bryn Kinney was even thinking about making the fold, and it didn't work out for him. He ended up coming in runner up.
Yep.
But he's already won his bracelet. He's already proven himself to be, a world-class player who can hang with the best and hold his own. And I just think he proved that again in that 5K. I actually was really impressed with that really impressed with the way he played it, and I thought that he was going to take it down.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did. Yeah, he was up pretty big in that for a while, but it's the way the cookie crumbles in this place sometimes. That's for sure.
You got to make those what Ronnie Barta calls God folds.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you got to look at a hand like a 9-high flush and think, there's not just 3 hands that beat me. It's every single combination, out there. And once you start counting all the combinations of suited aces and suited kings and suited jacks, all of a sudden you're looking at like 45th, 46th best hand.
Right.
And good players make really, really, really strong laydowns. I actually feel like if making strong moves and big raises and hero calls are so much easier than making the really, really tough laydowns because it always feels wrong to fold. It always feels wrong to fold, and so often you make that fold, and you never know if you were right to do it.
Yeah.
I can tell you, it's one thing I'm trying to work on this summer, and I think is going to be the difference between success and failure when it finally gets to that main event, is those big folds. I still have never folded pocket kings pre-flop in a tournament. I've never done that.
I did it once.
Did you get to see if you were right or not?
No, he did not flip it up, but he did tell me after a while he had aces.
He
but
told you that doesn't mean.
But it was pretty obvious. It became very obvious. Just this, it was a weird situation. It was a weird situation because he ended up 6-betting me with it, and he barely played a hand for 2 hours. It was fairly obvious what he had, that he wasn't messing around. I mean, if he'd had the way he was playing, if he'd had queens, yeah, he'd have been out of the hand. Because he was literally that tight. I mean, I'm a nit, but he was like double super nit. So.
And you think that, that 5 and 6 bet always means a strong hand.
Yeah.
The other night, though, I was watching Vanessa Selps put in like 5-6 bets pre-flop against Prahlad Friedman, where she had Jack 7 suited. And she was just sure that like he was making a move on her, leveled herself right, and just punting.
Yeah.
It always feels wrong to fold.
It does.
It probably felt wrong to fold the kings.
It felt horrible.
At the time, you were like, how can I fold this? I can't fold this. No one would blame me if I just make the shove.
Yeah.
No one's going to say, oh, you played that horribly. No one. That's the nice thing about going broke with kings in that situation, about queens in that situation, is like part of you knows better, but you also know that no one will fault you for it.
Yeah.
And then you'll know. Yeah.
It was fun, though. At least I did it. Well, we got Byron Kaverman in 8th, Michael Wang 9th, Zhukov's in 10th because he's going to cash and everything. They got Sam Stein, Andres Heuvel, Tom Marchese, Keith Lair. So some winners kind of.
He's a good guy.
He is a great guy. I love him. He's actually been following the show for a long time. Yeah. Very nice guy.
He's always so super friendly at the table. Good player. Knows where he's at. Super aggro. Is not afraid. He's definitely not one of those players you're going to see fold kings pre-flop. He's like really, really unafraid. He'll gamble it up, and just always very pleasant to be around.
On this list, Dutch, if you had to look at maybe the top 10 guys or so, if you had to pick one right now that you think going through the rest of the series is going to have a pretty good shot to win this thing, who do you like out of that group?
Wow. I would bet. I would bet both Merson and Bryn Kinney over Paul Volpe.
Okay.
Actually, if you wanted to take Paul Volpe, even with his chip lead, even money against Bryn or Greg, I would probably make that bet.
Okay.
Not with anybody, just you.
Okay.
I'm not trying to.
I've got Volpe
Ryan
love.
Hastings on it.
Yeah.
And that's. Yeah, that's those are the two guys of the top 10 that I think one of those guys are probably going to clear, are probably going to end with the Player of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, you have to look at Greg Merson as a guy that has a very good, getting off to an early start like this.
Yeah.
Because usually he's doing it at the end and making the deep runs in the main event.
Yeah, I think he's, besides him and Kata, who else is, since Moneymaker, who has won the main event and another bracelet?
Just them.
Just them, right?
Well, Greg actually won his first bracelet right before he won the main event, so I don't think he's won one since.
Okay. That's
so fair. It was same year.
But this is why I love Merson. This is why I think that he's just an amazing player, is because he was down to, what, 5 big blinds in that main event?
Yep.
You know how hard it is to have 5 big blinds and then say, you know what, I'm not out of this. I'm not out of this. This is nothing. I've had worse situations than this before, and then actually come back to do it. I mean, it's way too easy to get down to 5 bigs and just be like, screw it. And he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't. He you know, they have that term alligator blood, and Merson has it.
Yep.
You know, and so I think that kind of never give in, never give up attitude, you know, if I was going to bet on one guy right now to get Player of the Year, I'm betting Merson.
Okay. I think
but
very legitimate pick.
Bryn Kinney, man, Bryn Kinney. The thing that I think that maybe that has me second guessing myself and thinking that maybe Bryn takes it is Merson is more of a hold'em specialist, and Kinney plays all the games.
Right.
And he plays them all really well. And the way that GPI is so heavy towards the 10Ks, and then in the 10Ks there's going to be a lot of like the mixed the mixed game events that I don't think Merson is really going to have the same kind of equity shot as Kinney. It's
well, and then you look at Volpe too. I mean, that's Paul's bread and butter, playing the mixed games. I mean, he's had those, the great WPT runs that he ever went back-to-back final tables, and a couple of great main event runs as well. But Paul's game is really playing those mixed games and stuff like Deuce to 7. I mean, that's his lifeblood. So
no, you're right.
That
he's
week,
good. He's legit.
That week of the week of the senior, we'll probably know a lot when the week of the seniors is over, because also during that week is a lot of the mixed games events. So we'll have a pretty good handle on it.
Do you want to take Volpe over Merson? I'll take Merson. You take Volpe.
Oh God. Yeah, I'll take Volpe.
Okay.
I'll take Paul.
$20.
$20.
It's booked.
Booked it. Done.
Can we do another one with Volpe against Kinney?
No.
No, he's not going to do that.
No, I'll take the Volpe Merson battle, because I think that's a good battle there. We'll stick with that one.
Okay.
But yeah, done. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll see what Paul does in some of these other mixed games events coming up. So it should be pretty exciting. But Volpe now leading this Player of the Year.
Would you let me have Kinney and you take Brian Hastings?
Where's Hastings right now?
Oh, I don't know. He must be buried. He must be buried.
Didn't he have a ton of prop bets? I didn't get to read the story, but
you gotta love a guy who's so confident in his own ability that he's willing to put money on him versus anybody else in the whole entire world.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like they had to pick themselves. They could pick other people too. So I could say, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take Bryn Kinney against you.
There you go.
Brian Hastings is a machine. He's really good. Bracelet winner, champion. Everyone knows that he can play really, really well. But it doesn't. He's not the best in the world. He's not the number one guy.
Yeah.
For him to think so is just kind of arrogant.
That's all right.
Hey,
man, coming in here fired up. Good for him. By the way, we just saw Zoe Kareem and Darryl Fish leaving the Turbo event. So Dutch, you're not alone out here.
Having a rough summer. I think he's whiffed it so far.
For Hastings, he is in 43rd in the standings right now, 326.19 points, 2 cashes, 29th in event number 2, the $5,000 no limit hold'em tournament, and 104th in the event 12 no limit hold'em 6-handed. So Hastings is on the board.
Very bad July for him if he doesn't turn this around, because he has a lot of action in that prop bet.
Yeah.
For the listeners who don't know, Brian Hastings went to the Twitterverse and said, okay, I will take myself against anybody else in a 25K draft format challenge. And it doesn't even have to be you. Just put up the bet and pick a player, and I'm going to beat them all. I'm going to beat them all. And so far he hasn't. But you gotta respect a guy for.
He's got the chutzpah.
He does. He's got the heart. He's got the heart. He's got too much vision. He's got too much confidence.
It's funny because when players make bets like this, I know last year, we had the Ivy Negreanu prop bet going on.
Yep.
Everybody was freaking out about, and obviously those guys with the talent they have did manage to come through and pick one off.
They picked one off.
But it was close.
They did it. It was close. It was close.
But that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself. I mean,
and I kind of liked the other side there.
I did too,
because it was just Vegas events, right? They couldn't they couldn't go out to Australia and pick one up there. Look at this guy. Do you know who that is right there, walking?
No, I don't actually.
That is Bobby Boyd. That is my little brother.
I haven't seen him for a while.
Can you come on for a quick second? Just say hi
Yeah.
to everybody.
We'll
This is him.
So we got the three-time World Series of Poker bracelet winner Dutch Boyd, and we got another Boyd. Boyd's everywhere.
Yeah.
There's lots of Boyds. That's kind of like a 4-time kind of thing going. How you doing, Bobby? Good to see you.
Doing really good. Just wanted to say hello to all the listeners listening to the best poker radio show, Mark Hoke.
Wow.
This is
I'm
high
gonna
praise.
record that. That's going in a promo sometime soon. So what have you been up to, brother? I haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, I'm just picking up some spare change in all the little baby tournaments here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
Baby
nice.
tournaments. He did cash in the Colossus, the biggest event in the history of poker.
Yeah, and well, so you were in the room. Well, let me ask you this: you were there. Payouts get announced. What happened? What were you thinking? What happened around you with the other players that were sitting near you?
Has that been the topic you guys been talking about?
No, but I just thought I'd throw it out to you since you
One
were
of
in
those
there.
news
So
stories.
I would say mass confusion. Everyone looked around at each other like, that can't be right. Calculators popped out. People started running the numbers. They're like, where's the rest of it?
where's the rest of it? That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it was a disappointment to most until we started busting out, and then
Yeah, exactly.
it's a welcome flat payout structure. But yeah, no, I think that was pretty confusing to a lot of people. But now we have the Millie Maker going on right now. Who's left in that? Have you guys looked at the chip counts?
There's a ton of people. They just hit the money a
Still
little while ago.
super
So
early.
Is it 700, 800 people left?
Yeah.
yeah, something like that.
Are you in favor of flat payouts, or would you rather see like a winner take all?
Yeah, I think flatter payouts are probably good just to cut down the variance for a pro. I don't think it matters much for me at my station in life right now. Poker's kind of more a hobby for me, but when I played this game and took it super seriously, I think less variance would be good for me. But I just don't. I think they need to match the expectations, and I think most people were expecting to go into that tournament with more than $1 million for first. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, even though that could be a legitimate payout chart on that, it's still the perception's reality. Sometimes, you know how it is. I mean,
I always kind of thought about like imagining like the flattest payout possible, where everyone would like buy in for the 565, and then Caesars would take the $65 rake, and then everybody gets $500 back, and they just play for the bracelet. And I wonder, like, like super low variance, really good for the poker economy because all the money keeps on getting recycled. And then I'm kind of wondering, I for one would still play it, just to have that shot of the bracelet.
Let me ask you, Dutch, has this been the first year that they've been running the online satellites from WSOP.com? How's the online action working as far as feeding players into the ecosystem? Is that anything?
I don't think it's I don't think it's really been feeding that many players in. I was checking the numbers last night, and it doesn't look like it's that much of a jump from before the World Series. I mean, they've been putting a few players in here and there, not anything drastic. It's not like pre-UIGEA when Stars and Tilt were just sending thousands and thousands of players out here and all patching them up and getting them in their suites. It's still not quite at that point.
Well, you asked me, Mark, about the disappointing payout structure of the Colossus, but more than that, have you guys already talked about the payout line? It seems like they've doubled the staff back there, but there was like a three-hour wait getting paid out.
That was unbelievable. I know so many people that were stuck in that line. A lot of complaints in social media.
And Bobby here almost got into a fight.
Really?
The line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Tell the story.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
I think the Vegas air brings something out. But yeah, no, I mean, people are paying other players or railbirds or whatever they are to stand in the line for them to get cashed out. And this one guy took the initiative to just cut on through, just trailblaze right on through to the top of the line.
So let me get this straight. So this is a guy who actually didn't cash. He had gotten paid to stand in the line for someone who did cash, and he cut. The guy whose only job is to wait in line, decides to skirt his responsibility and try to like weasel his way in the line.
That's all we could gather.
Jesus, that's ridiculous.
And Bobby, I also want to hear the story about Planet Hollywood, because we were talking about Planet Hollywood today. There's a little bit of a controversy over at Planet Hollywood because they didn't make a guarantee, so they extended registration time. But you had kind of an interesting story at Planet Hollywood. Can you share? And then I want to ask Mark what he thinks players should do if they were in your situation.
Yeah, I told Dutch about this, but they had a pretty good structure. They have a tournament series that they call the Goliath. It's sort of shadowing some of the events that are happening here at the Rio. And so I jumped in the $300 no limit hold'em tournament last week, and I'm building up a pretty good stack, and I count 44 and change or something on second break. And I'm on this cheapo phone. My girlfriend likes to make fun of me. It's the battery life sucks on this 4S. I need to get an upgrade. But so I usually snap a picture, as a lot of players are, of the stack when they walk away.
Right.
Most of your listeners will know that it's the dealer's job to just babysit the table and make sure no shenanigans occur during breaks. But when I walk back, so I didn't snap a picture. I made two mistakes. I didn't snap a picture because my phone is dead, and I also usually bury my big chips under some small chips up top.
Right.
But this time I just left them on top and walked away. And when I came back, 15,000. That's just 3 chips, 3 5K chips.
Right.
Are gone missing off my stack. And I'm like 95% certain,
Wow.
That would be a pretty, all the hands corroborate the story. I mean, I've been busting people up until this point.
Yeah.
So it's not just a math error, you don't just make a trivial 15K math error. So, I call Floor over, and they say they go to the cameras, but I don't know. I mean, they're not really incentivized to tell us, hey, we failed you and our security sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
So weirdly, so they're off, doing what it may be checking the camera. I don't know.
And the table's still going.
The table's,
at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They don't stop the action. They keep on playing.
Wow.
Yeah. So, anyways, more interesting than they're doing discovery, trying to figure out where my chips are. And then I get aces and lose all in pre-flop 3-way. But that's not, the weird part is while they're chasing down my missing chips, someone spots a non-matching chip. I don't even know if I told you this. There's a non-matching chip in play that's not from the tournament chip set. It's same color, but obviously not the same chip. So yeah, there's weird things going on.
People are taking chips from the table, putting chips on the table.
Yeah. So I mean, they had a dealer push in the middle of it and a race off. So there was a lot of busy things happening during that break. So I don't know. I don't know what the moral to the story is. Just be on your toes, I guess.
Well, I know that at some casinos, like Borgata, after they had what happened down there, and also the Seminole Hard Rock team as well.
You're talking about with the counterfeit chips at Borgata?
Right. They were actually now if they do a color up, they're not doing counts, but about every other break, they are having the dealers fill out sheets, do the chip counts, write it down, and turn it into the staff, so that way those things don't happen. So if all of a sudden there's a large disparity going either way, they're able to.
Oh, what's up, man?
They will go back and check it. Hey, we got
to see you, Ferrari. This is one of our buddies on Twitch. He works on the Girl Meets World show.
Oh, okay. Awesome. I'm Mark. How you doing?
He keeps on saying that they're going to try to get a poker episode on Girl Meets World where Corey Matthews loses his life savings at the poker table.
Oh.
And then maybe it could be up to the girl to get it back.
We're gonna do tag rush because I'm actually in this.
Good luck, Bobby.
And Jesse Caps, by the way. Hey, Bobby, good to see you, my friend.
It's awesome to actually meet you. We're live, but I'm gonna. No, it's okay. It's okay.
It's all right.
We'll catch up soon. Okay.
Jesse Caps, by the way, a good friend of the show, just came out here and he is furious.
So he looks very angry.
I've never seen Jesse like that.
He must not have been able to get into the turbo.
You all right?
They must have locked him out of the turbo. He must not have been able to play.
Oh. You're not a waste of a chair.
What happened to your finger? No.
No, he was playing tennis.
Oh, the wrong people, the wrong amount.
This is the World Series, guys.
All his friends have heaps.
Jesse, do you need to come on for some therapy?
Come on, let's
do the therapy.
Buddy.
Let's do the therapy on the show.
Come on, Jesse, just sit down.
That's okay, Jesse. This
I want to hear the pain.
Yeah, let's let it all out. Jesse Capps joining us. Just
All right,
You've been crushing the cash games.
I crushed one cash game, and then I lost almost all of it back. So don't give me that. How do you guys do it? How do you guys cope with playing bad? That is what I want to know. How do you cope, Dutch, with playing bad?
I don't do it. I don't play bad.
Well, there you go. See, all the good players, all my friends are playing. Oh my God. My buddy Val always has heaps in all these tournaments. I had a chip lead. I blew a chip lead in the Millie Maker, and I just called the guy with like 6-8 suited, and the blinds. And it was like queen. No, it was like 9-6-3, and then 9 on the turn. He bet big on the flop, and I called, and the turn he just jams on me, and I'm just supposed to fold, but I looked at him, and he was giving all the weakness tells off. So I called the queens, and I'm drawing virtually dead. And it's just like, I know to fold there. I mean, I know it doesn't matter. I shouldn't rely purely on reads. Like, that's horrible. So, but it's just.
I completely blocked everything you said out. I have no idea what that story from. I blew the lead, and here's how. And that's the point where I like tuned you out.
You're fine,
but I'm sure that it was.
It
really
doesn't
bad.
matter. It doesn't matter about that.
The other day I was actually like I got knocked out. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you how. I'm not actually because no one listens to them.
Right.
I walked to go get a pizza, a slice of pizza, right? And there's a guy sitting there actually telling the line cook. He's telling the line cook. He's like, and then this guy, he calls me with 10-2 off suit. 10-2. Do you realize how bad that is? And the line cook's just like, oh man, that's rough. And he's like, and the crazy thing is, blah blah blah. And I'm tuning him out too.
Right. No, it's not.
And the line cook is sitting here like he's like really concerned, like they're best friends, and it's amazing because like. This is what's happening at the Rio right now. Everybody has a bad beat. Everybody has some sort of story.
It's not. Okay, go ahead. Finish what you're saying, though.
And a lot of them don't even have friends that they can tell it to, so they have to go out to the line cook.
That's pretty sad.
You got a radio show to come on and vent.
At least with your beats, you get people to like.
Yeah.
Give the nod and actually listen, even if they are tuning you out.
Well, this is what I'm trying to get you guys to tell me about is how, like, I'm notorious.
Like shit, by the way.
Yeah. I'm better though. I'm all
you
like.
sound really bad. We're not on AM, so we can.
Yeah, you can say shit.
Say shit. Yeah.
You sound really bad.
Yeah, this is me recovering. I was sick. I'm a lot better now.
I think a lot of people were sick. I was a little sick in the last few days too.
Right.
Rob Mizrachi, when he won his bracelet, he was sick as a dog. He sounded like death.
I'm just notorious for making bad plays on the circuit and then hitting doors, jumping around. I've literally ran laps and just like, that's who I am. And I mean, I don't mind that I get mad and stuff. It's just like, I feel like I make errors that no other good players like that will have made even when they were donkeys kind of thing.
You're young,
and I'm like maybe, I mean, I want my friends to come up and tell me, I want to hear stories about how bad they played. I don't want to hear bad beat stories. I want to hear stories about how bad people play. It makes me feel better that I'm not the only one who makes unbelievably terrible mistakes, you know?
Well, we all do.
Know, a lot of times a bad play and a good play can look the same.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
They could just be made for different reasons. Like I just busted out a turbo. I shoved with 11 big blinds in the hijack with 8-2 offsuit. And got called in the button.
See, that makes you feel better.
But I'm gonna tell you
This is great.
I don't really feel like that was a bad play. I mean, I think it would be a bad play if I wasn't, spotting the big blind and the small blind and counting how long they peeked at their whole cards.
Well, okay.
Realize that they were going to fold.
Okay.
And that the only two hands that I really had to fade were the button and the cutoff.
So you're basically on the butts. So you're basically fading two hands.
And not anybody who's actually committed any amount of chips in there.
So
I actually had reason to do it.
Jesse Capps therapy here, by the way.
Push fold charts too, and all that kind of stuff.
Well, the push fold chart's going to say fold.
Right.
But the push fold charts doesn't take into account that the big blind and the small blind both looked at their whole cards in a way that said they were going to.
But you still said you said you didn't know about two people though, so you're essentially So how many people do you not know what they have?
2.
2. So you're essentially the button. So you can use the push pull for the button.
No, because the button has to worry about 2 people who have already committed chips in.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And there's a huge psychological difference between folding when you have chips in the pot and folding when you don't.
Right.
And both the button and the cutoff have to worry that the big blind and the small blind are going to wake up with bigger hands.
Oh, I mean.
So I mean, all I'm saying, the point is, a bad play and a good play can be the same play. Made for much different reasons.
I mean, your
because
play.
I think a bad player will look down and say, the only thought that they're thinking is they look down and just think, "Come on, 8."
See,
come on, 2.
Well, like I don't.
8-2. That's my birthday year.
I don't think your play is bad, but how would you feel if the big blind and the small blind that looked at the cards actually had it and you misread their situation? That's what tilts me. That's what.
Then I would feel like it was a bad play.
Yeah. Well, so you didn't tell me a bad play though. I'm waiting to hear people play like donkeys, like complete donkeys, like me.
Jesse, can I ask a question though?
Yeah.
Okay. You definitely had so far the worst reaction of any player that I've seen come out of Brasilia so far this World Series. I wish I'd have thrown the fan cam on. The fan cam would have shown Jesse.
How do you think I broke my finger? Come on now.
He was doing like bunny hop jumps in the air.
Oh my gosh, you missed me.
And it was impressive. And Jesse, next time you do that, you got to let me know so I can film this.
No,
it was pretty.
You can ask anybody on the circuit. Like I've hit doors. I literally did dolphin jumps, like around the and I only go crazy and nuts when I make a horrible play that I think is beyond terrible, and I feel like I do it a lot more often than the good players. But at the same time, I don't regret doing it because I think it's entertaining at least, and I always I think it's at least it's fun for everybody else. Obviously not fun for me, but at least I'm not. At least I'm not like cursing at someone or.
What's the highest you've jumped? Because you were, you had a good 3 feet in the air. I think you were up there pretty high.
I used to grab the rim. I'm 5'10", so
it's not bad. Not bad work, Jesse Caps.
Vertical.
So what's going on with you guys? So.
Well, we were having a nice casual show until you showed up.
Oh man, you should know that. You should know that I usually don't make shows nice and casual.
Oh my God, that was great.
It's usually something.
I mean, I feel terrible for you, but that was great.
Oh, I mean, I don't.
Why don't you just give? I'll tell you what. Why don't you do this?
They don't realize.
Jesse, here's what I want you to do. I want to make you help me feel better. After this girl walks by, what I'd like you to do is you have the splint on your finger. Show everybody the splint. Let's put that on the screen here. Okay, supposedly a tennis injury, if I'm correct, right?
Sure, we'll say that.
Okay, that's what you told me. So now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to completely flip off the Brazilian room right now. Just give them the giant up yours. On the show, just right to the room there. Nobody in particular, just to the poker world in general.
I mean, that's just how I have to
bend those back a little bit more so you can get that finger up there. Yeah, there you go. All right,
this is rare radio.
There you go. Do you feel better now? Do you feel a little better?
No, my finger's still broken. Don't these guys realize that I would be like the best poker ambassador? Like, let me win a bracelet so I can fucking represent poker. Like, they don't realize they can't just let me run here.
Speaking of this, I can't tell you how much money I felt like I personally lost seeing James Woods not win that shootout.
That was kind of sad.
You bet on it?
No, I didn't bet on it. But you know how great that would have been for poker? He'd hit up Letterman and the Daily Show and every little stop, and they'd say, "So, I hear you play poker. That you are a World Series of Poker champion." And he'd talk about it for like 30 seconds.
Absolutely.
And people would get into it, and he'd get more people in Hollywood into it, and it would have been so great and so pure instead.
By the way, Jesse, did you know Jennifer Tilly has a bracelet and you do not?
Yeah, I know that. I know that. Yeah, but
I could go down through the list and find all these.
Was that an open event though? Can anybody play in it?
He should have played in it. Yeah. Sean D played in it. He just won his bracelet.
Sean D's got a bracelet now, right?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Oh my God, you guys are something else. Hey, I got to get one more commercial break in. Jesse, hold your thoughts.
I'm actually gonna have to leave this show too. I gotta go sign up for the 3K. So thanks for having me on. I love the Mark Hoke Show. Definitely check out Blue Shark Optics, PokerTilt.com, and Zen Poker Mentoring, as well as my site, DutchBoyd.com. Follow me on Twitter, @DutchBoyd. And check out my Twitch live stream. Caps does a little bit of twitching, too. It's an awesome,
been
the
twitching
future of
out
poker,
here in the
find
hallway.
out what it's about. I had Dan Heimeller the other day say,
So this Twitch thing, is it like a television show or just a bunch of blogs? And I'm like, I love you, Dan. I want to have you on Twitch TV soon. Thank you very much for having me on the show, Mark Hoke Show.
Good luck this afternoon, my friend.
Go take down the limit holder, man.
All right, Dutch Boy, stepping in here.
Any real donkey plays, let me know. You have to tell me, okay?
Poor Jesse Caps. All right, we're going to come back. We'll get Jesse on the show. We'll let him vent a little bit more. And
I'm done.
Oh, God, I love it. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back. Oh, God.
I'm here with two-time WSOP bracelet winner Rep Porter. Rep, you just launched a new poker training site, thepokeracademy.com. What's one tip you can give to players that will immediately improve their game?
One mistake I see a lot of newer tournament players make is they vary their bet size depending on their hand strength. Some players, when they have a big hand, bet big, and when they have a small hand, bet small. Other players bet smaller when they want you to call them and bet bigger when they want you to fold. These type of betting pattern tells are very easy to pick up on if you're sitting at the table with the same player for a long time. It's really important in tournament play to keep your bet sizing consistent so that your opponents aren't able to discern what kind of hand you have by the amount that you're betting.
That's a great tip for you from Rep Porter at thepokeracademy.com. It's a completely different kind of training site. Thepokeracademy.com offers a no-limit tournament course that gives you a comprehensive strategy from the beginning through all the stages of tournament play. Use the link, thepokeracademy.com/mark, to get a free 166-page course guide when you buy the course. That's thepokeracademy.com/mark.
There's nothing better than sitting down to play poker with good friends and cutting loose. And that's what you're going to find when you tune in to Poker Night in America. Poker Night in America is revolutionizing televised poker in a big way with all the action you love and the hilarious fun you've been missing. Come take a seat at the table with all your favorite players, old and new, with Poker Night in America. Mondays, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on CBS Sports Network. And don't forget to visit the show online at PokerNight.com. So pull up a chair and join us Mondays on Poker Night in America.
Only a donkey would call my pre-flop bet with a deuce tray.
Hey, deuce tray is my lucky hand, and besides, they were suited. Man, I played that hand great.
That was a real share my pair hand.
Share My Pair, the best way to share your poker stories with friends, for free. Available from the iTunes App Store and Google Play. Download the app now.
PokerShop.com is your one-stop shop for all your poker and game room needs. PokerShop.com has you covered with an incredible variety of poker chips and supplies, top-quality playing cards, plus gaming tables and room accessories, just like you'd find in your favorite casino. And if you're looking to spruce up your man cave, we offer a wide selection of decor options, from lighting to mirrors, and portable bars to bub stools, to make your game room the one all your friends and family will be talking about. So for everything you need to make your game night a great night, go to www.pokershop.com and receive 10% off your purchase with the code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You supply your friends. We supply everything else. Live it. Love it. Pokershop.com.
Hi everyone, Mark here. If you're a poker player like me and looking for something different and exciting to play, you should give Open-Face Chinese Poker a shot. It has just the right mix of skill, luck, plus a huge dose of the fun factor we're all looking for. There's a reason Open-Face Chinese Poker has everyone from the recreational player to the top pros hooked on its thrills, action, and unique social interactions you won't find in Hold'em. An incredible game like this has got to be worth checking out. And it's easy to learn, especially by using the ABC Chinese Poker app. Download the ABC Chinese Poker app on iTunes today and find out what everyone's talking about. And if you have questions about the game, tweet at ABC Chinese Poker and they'll be glad to help you along. So join the Open-Face Chinese Poker community today with the ABC Chinese Poker app, and we'll see you at the tables.
Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go?
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, let's return to the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
I am Mark Hoke. Some days it's just hilarious to be me. We're, of course, very live here at the World Series of Poker. We get to see all the great things. We get to see the bad things.
Look how bad I am, Mark.
What?
Look how bad I am. The cheese exploding. Look at this. I have cheese all over my bag right now.
You have cheese all over your bag.
All over my bag.
Wow.
Literally, cheese crackers have exploded in my bag, and my headphones, everything is filled with like cheese crumbs.
Wow.
That's how I run right now.
Man, you are running bad, sir.
Whatever.
It's all right. What's up, Jesse Caps?
What's up?
How you doing?
This is not a smile of,
okay?
Of greatness right now.
This is like the Joker. I mean, I feel like I should get some white face paint.
Why so serious?
Ow. Oh, man. Yeah, we just had Jesse just busted out of the turbo. If you missed before the break, complete flip out by Jesse Caps. But it was classic. It's one of the best of all time.
Best of all time.
You. That's one of the best of all time.
If you thought that was entertaining, wait until I make a final table, because if I make a bad play at the final table, I'll do backflips or something.
Yeah.
I've done dolphin jumps before. You do backflips.
Yeah. By the way, Dutch Boyd asked me a question on air earlier, and I probably should tell this story. I'm a little. My voice is a little squeaky because, you know what I did for the first time last night? I did karaoke.
Oh God!
First time I did karaoke.
Oh God!
I don't know why I look so bloated today too on camera. I don't know what the deal is. I think it's from all that sushi I ate. I went out last night. Last night I went out with my wife, with the lovely Tarina Dark, with Rhea from she does Chip Running Here, is also helping out with PokerAcademy.com, giving out some cards, and we all kind of did the all-you-can-eat sushi thing.
Nice.
And then went over to this karaoke place right across the street, and everybody knows. Everybody's heard me sing on air and do all this dumb stuff. Oh God. Oh God.
Tell her I need it more than you. I need it more than him.
Denise just popped over. That magic touch. It's like lightning.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Can we just get a massage for the rest of the show?
We could do that.
Where are you going?
See, there she goes.
Wait. I paid $1,000. I might as well get a massage. I paid $1,000 to be in that room. Now I'm in this room. So, well, why can't you be out here with us? I mean, I'm not flipping you off, but I am in pain.
Jesus, Jesse.
I'm in a lot of pain right now. So, all right. I gotta let him get back to his show. Okay. Bye.
Thanks.
Sorry,
Denise.
bud.
One of my favorite masseuses here. Oh my God. But anyway, so we went to this little place right across from Sushi Kaya. My personal favorite, highly recommend, by the way. Yeah, and I did karaoke.
What did you sing?
Well, here's the first song I popped off, and I couldn't remember what it was, which was unbelievable.
All right.
But I did Billy Joel. It's Still Rock and Roll to Me.
Okay.
Which I did okay. I was pretty nervous too. And then I butcher Hard to Say I'm Sorry by Chicago. It was horror bad. I nailed Rock Around the Clock by Bill Haley in the comments. Nailed that. screwed up a little bit at the beginning. I threw myself off at the beginning of. Let's see, what was the other song I did? That's terrible. Oh, You May Be Right by Billy Joel. I pulled out some more Billy Joel.
These were all solo songs?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was up on stage singing. There is video. Of course, my wife didn't get the one song where I nailed it. The one where it was kind of, I was okay.
This is your first time at karaoke ever?
First time I ever did
and
karaoke.
you're already like know when you nail a song and you mess up the song?
Yeah,
like,
you can pretty much tell.
I can't.
I'm an entertainer. Yeah, I know.
I have no
You're
vocal.
tone deaf.
Yeah, I'm tone deaf.
Yeah.
I'm vocal deaf, obviously.
It's all good. But yes, so everybody, I did karaoke. There is video posted somewhere, but I am not telling you where it is. There's no way.
I'll text.
Not
I'll
a
text
chance.
Kristen right now.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Anyway, but yeah, I had a great time last night, and I want to thank Rep Porter for taking us out, and really enjoyed myself. Very stressful week, and I needed that.
Yeah.
But but the suffering part is that Kristen and Tarina are both messed up. They bombed out. Oh my God. We were all drinking, but I ate so much sushi. I mean, every drop of alcohol got absorbed, I think. It was ridiculous.
Where did you guys go?
Right across the street. I don't even know what the name of the place was.
Was sushi good?
Sushi Kaya was outstanding.
Sushi Kaya.
Sushi
Yeah.
Kaya.
It's all you can eat, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Up on
I'm
Spring
going
Mountain
there
Road.
tonight. I decided just now.
Oh, can I go with you? I'll do it.
You want to go?
I'll go around to the sushi.
You'll go again?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
Repeat performance.
Yeah, I'll be up to like 290
So
pounds by the
cash.
time that's all over. But yeah, I had a good time over there. So thanks to Rep and the team. And speaking of good times, if you want to have some great times, you really ought to hop on with some of our sponsors here real quick, and we want to make sure that we get to acknowledge all the thank you, computer. Make sure we acknowledge all their efforts, Jesse. So we're gonna kind of cover your head there.
Oh,
we're gonna cover your head.
Am I bad publicity for the sponsors?
We'll see. We'll just bounce it around there for a while, but now we'll slide that in between us. But of course, the Mark Hoke Show here, and just go to markhokeshow.com. We'll be on the World Series just about every day. We're taking a few days off here and there. ThePokerAcademy.com, Rep Porter. Of course, a couple of deep runs here already in the World Series. And maybe you need to go to ThePokerAcademy.com.
Yes.
Go to ThePokerAcademy.com/Mark. You get a free 166-page course guide when you sign up for the courses today, so you can learn from a guy that's got a couple bracelets. So not a bad call. Go to ThePokerAcademy.com. ABC Chinese Poker. So when you're flipping out in the hallways, you have something else that you can do. Play some Chinese poker on ABC Chinese Poker or ABC Chinese Poker. Download it for your iPhone or iPad today. You're going to be glad you did. It's my go-to game on my phone, and you're going to love it too. We have our good friends at BlueRail.net website service. Man, anything you need, business, e-commerce, personal, put up a site about jumping Jesse Caps. Go to BlueRail.net. They build websites. How far do you want to go with Bob Lusk and the team at BlueRail.net? The PPC Poker Tour, we're going to be more stops coming up. We got Tampa, we've got Daytona, we've got Ho Chunk in Wisconsin, we got Naples, we got all sorts of stuff. You're going to be going to one or two of those stops. I got the Tunica covered.
Am I going to be like, if I report a hand bad, is it okay for me to get really pissed off at the I don't
maybe
think
not
so.
Tampa Bay Downs. But hey, go to ppcpokertour.com. Your chances to go to a play in the championship in Aruba and everything else. Check it out today. Pokershop.com. We got 10% off with the code HOKE. So when you're jumping up and down and you wreck stuff in your bag, you can always just replace it. Go to pokershop.com. 10% off with the code HOKE for cards, chips, tables, bars, lamps, books, whatever you need. They've got it at pokershop.com. The Nevada Poker League. Jesse, maybe you should just take up playing poker for free. Go to NevadaPokerLeague.com.
Or just be Joe Payne.
Or be Joe Payne. He's here too. At the Nevada Poker League, 20 locations here in Las Vegas. Play for cash and prizes here with the Nevada Poker League. And say hi to Joe Payne. He's back from Guatemala. That's exciting too.
From where?
You can. And now, Jesse, you know what you should do? You should download the Share My Pair app. Right? Download the Share My Pair app and post that hand. Instead of telling everybody the story a million times, just tell it once. With Share My Pair. You should post that hand. That'll teach you a lesson. But share your hands with all your friends on social media and any other way you can. Share My Pair. Grindettes, of course, Jamie Kerstetter, Jen Shahade, Katie Stone, and Katie Dozier. The lovely Grindettes. greatest women's poker team in the world. Check them out at grindettes.com, Facebook The Grindettes, and Twitter at Grindettes. Do it now and follow the careers of these amazing women. Grindettes. Poker Night in America, that is on at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Jesse might get a little pub on that show if we got on it. Let's get him on Poker Night in America. Great show, the best in poker TV.
If it works out, I think I might do it. Try to go on.
There you go.
Seminole maybe.
All right, that'll work. So check it out once again on CBS Sports Network, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And of course, Mark Hoke Show is weekly on KSHP 1400 and out there on the internet at kshp.com. Wednesdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And of course, we're on Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, and Twitter at Mark Hoke Show. We'd love to have you join us for that terrific show. We certainly appreciate it. All right, so there you go. There's all our little plugs. Joe Payne back from Guatemala. I'm excited.
Joe, you want to?
Yeah, we're on here right now. Absolutely.
Yeah, you come. I leave and eat my almonds and run around this place.
This has been an interesting show, I got to say. Very interesting show.
At least I still have my almonds.
You got your almonds.
Look at this. Broken finger, broken voice, broken bag,
and a broken soul.
Absolutely.
Yeah, don't forget the broken soul part. That's very important, Jesse. What a show this has been. Well, Jesse's eating some nuts here.
I mean, I want to know about the Millionaire Maker.
Yeah, let's go to the Millionaire Maker here real quick.
My buddy Valentin Vernicu had the chip lead in the Colossus and finished like 90th, and then he might have the chip lead now, and he's like, how come no one, like, he wants recognition, he wants people to he should be selling at like at least 1.2, 1.3 markup, but he's barely selling, and he's got amazing results.
Well, here's your current chip counts as of what we got for the Millionaire Maker. Mark Herm, Dipthrong out in front. One of the most dangerous online players in the world is in first right now at 410. Kelly Minkin, we all know that name too. We mentioned her earlier, 350,000. Christian Pham at 350. Randy Pfeiffer 310. Kevin McLogan 280. Tomas Altamirano at 270,000. Bryce McVeigh 260. Wendy Freeman 257. Catherine Lindsay 245. Curtis Smithling at 240. Brian Rast at 240. Jordan Young 240. Valentin Orniku at 230. You're very crunchy. Very crunchy. I can turn your mic down a little bit. I can do that. We had to crank it up. You guys were kind of a little far off the mic there.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Ronnie Bard is up there now. Of course, PPC Pro at 200,000 or 210. He is listed in 17th place at this point. Paul Sokolov also right up there. Rex Clinkscales still in good shape. Justin Bonomo, Jeff Madsen, Calvin Anderson, Cord Garcia. Oh, Jesus, are you kidding me? Could you imagine if Cord Garcia won the Colossus and the Millionaire Maker?
Sick. I mean, I'm friends with Cord. I mean, I'm friends with a lot of these guys. But
yeah, let's get Cord on the show. By the way,
I'll ask him.
Yeah, get him on the show. We need him on the show.
Yeah.
But Cord up there, Shannon Shore is there. Mohamed Siddiqui, of course, Seminole Hard Rock Pro, is at 115,000. He's in decent shape. Hoyt Corkins, Aaron Mermelstein is up there. Mike Sexton still alive. Doc Sands, Martin Finger, Phil Galfon, Joe Kuther, Chris Conrad, Eric Lindgren still in there. Lucky Chewy still in. Justin Oliver was running around here. I guess trying to figure that one out. Not sure on that one. And, of course, there's Max Pescatori walking by us, by the way, bracelet winner this year. And so many other great players still left. So
I have 0 in 2 different tournaments today. Yeah.
He's terrible.
Hey, but I've gotten more exercise than you have today, I bet. No, exercise.
Yes.
Yeah, I ran around the halls in frustration.
Yeah, it was quality entertainment. Joe, you missed that. You missed it. Jesse flipped out. All right, so there's your Millionaire Maker update right now. So there you go. Jesse, how you doing? Do you feel better now?
I mean, like, I'm a little envious. I'm not going to lie. I know, like, a lot of those names you just listed. Yeah. And I'm like, they're always doing good. The pros find a way to do good. And I have some small cashes. I've done all right. I'm a winning player, but they're boring.
Love takes time.
I'm sorry, I'm not the through hate, but a lot of my friends are boring. They're not good for TV, and I'm good for TV. So I'm saying it right now. I don't care if it exposes me. I'm pissed off. I deserve to be on that table because that's what isn't it what this World Series, that's why they put this on is because ESPN funds it or whatever.
Well, you got time.
I know. Just
the only
like,
matters the main event is what matters for the television stuff. So there you go.
Just one time. Just let me run Pier just the whole day.
Well,
like
someday.
Butterflies.
Yeah. Okay. Rainbows, unicorns.
Let me have all the hottest girls on my table, massaging me after I bust them.
Yeah.
Can't we just live in that perfect world?
Well,
you would live in that perfect world. Me?
Sure, absolutely, Jesse. I would be glad to come along.
It's horrible.
Yeah, we got to hear from Joe here.
Yeah,
too.
let me get out of here.
Joe's looking patient. Jesse.
I'm gonna go punt the PH. They've got a 565 right now.
Okay.
So.
Well, good luck to you on that.
All
right. Let's
see you guys.
See you, Jesse Caps.
I'll be
everybody.
back when I can talk again.
Oh my word! Wow.
We'll get some.
I love the bandana, by the way. I'm digging it.
Thanks, bud.
See you, Jesse. Jesus Christ! Wow. You missed the big blow up, Joe. What's up, Joe? How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm actually running really good this year. I don't know if you know.
You are actually.
Had a cash and I got heads up in the shootout, and I actually wrote up my hand. We played heads up for 4.5 hours.
I saw it. Yeah.
Oh God, it was, and I got. I know you don't want anybody coming here telling bad beat stories.
Oh, everybody's been on a roll today, so freaking go for it.
But, I had the guy all in. I had him covered on the turn. I flopped the second pair. I had ace 4. He had ace queen. He pushed all in. I called. Turned over ace queen. The board was the flop came ace 7-9. A 4 came on the turn. He had ace queen, and a 7 came on the river to counterfeit my 4s, and he got him back in the game. Or else he's done. I get. I think it was like 5,400, and come back the next day to play for 238,000. So I like the way I'm playing. My play has been really strong, and I'm happy about that. But I've only got one cash to show for it. But I've only played 2 tournaments.
So you're 1 for 2, which is good.
1 for 2, which is not bad. I am leaving town on Tuesday, going to Guatemala.
We
never got a chance to discuss that the other day.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you already went. I apologize.
No, I'm leaving Tuesday, so I won't be on the KSHP show on this Wednesday or the following Wednesday. I get back in late Wednesday night of next week.
Brain surgery?
I would probably, while I'm there, I ought to look into that.
You should.
No, I'm having some dental work done because the dental work here in the States, not just in Vegas, in the States is super expensive. So I'm getting something done for 90% less in Guatemala.
There you go.
And I met some friends playing poker who have a house there, and they graciously offered me to stay at their home and picking me up at the airport. So, hey, free vacation.
Well, I hope they don't put hornets' eggs inside your tooth or something.
I don't know.
That would be kind of.
I understand that. They actually telling me that I should consider moving there. They moved there from. They originally lived in Toronto, Canada. The cost of living there is unbelievable. I mean, they have a live-in housekeeper that works 40 hours a week, and they pay her a whopping $60 for the week.
Wow.
And they're overpaying her, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, the current rate is about 40. They give her 60.
Jesus.
And I could play internet poker in Guatemala.
You could.
You say that so yeah, you could.
You could.
Because you're in the midst of the World Series. You're in the glory land for 7 weeks, which 2 have already passed already.
Yeah.
So we only got 5 more weeks of this.
Jesus.
Then you'll be back to the normal, where do I play? See, I'm moved to Guatemala. I could play 45 weeks a year.
This
and come up
show,
here and play for 7.
This has been such an odd show today.
Well, speaking of odd shows,
Jesse flipping out, Joe talking about moving to Guatemala. Oh my God!
I can do remotes from Guatemala for the show. Speaking of what's going on in the World Series, I've been running around kind of raggedy, but there was some controversy about the $10,000
Yeah, no decision made on that yet.
Now, what, are they saying he's marking cards?
That was the accusation, yes.
Wow.
But nothing has come of it yet. Seth
He got
Polanski
paid,
last
though,
report.
right? He's gotten paid, right?
Yeah, he got paid.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're still waiting to hear any news about that. But so far, no wrongdoing officially declared by the World Series of Poker yet by Coca.
Wow.
So, there you go.
Do we know how?
No idea.
Suspicion
they
arose in this?
just a few players were very suspicious about how a bunch of hands went down, and whenever they had a hand, it seemed like he got out. So, but once again, nothing proven yet.
Maybe he, see what I have on today?
Yeah, I see you've got an Ultimate Bet shirt on.
So maybe he had a little, was it neonatal insight?
I don't know.
You know?
A little God mode going. Little God mode.
Yeah, I actually grabbed the shirt, and as I put it on, I'm going, this might not be the right shirt to wear down here today.
No.
It's okay,
it
though.
might.
I'm in hiding.
Yeah, be careful, please, for the love of God. Oh my word! Yeah, this this show has been something else today.
So the show's been a little bit off kilter a little bit
just
today?
a little nutsy cuckoo. That's all right.
Now what happened to his finger? Why was it all?
Supposedly a tennis accident.
Tennis?
Yeah, he plays tennis. You didn't know Jesse plays tennis?
No.
Yeah, he's actually a pretty good tennis player. Except he loses to one of his students on a consistent basis.
Oh,
from what he told
his
me.
student beat him?
Yeah,
Wow.
consistently. So, oh well, what are you gonna do? Oh, but man, so much.
How have you been, Mark?
Good. Got out last night. Did some karaoke.
Oh, you went out last night?
Yeah, I went out last night.
You don't usually get out much during these 7 weeks.
No, but I'm making the time this year.
Okay.
I'm making the time. Yeah. So I mean, we've been on since 2 o'clock. So
much for Light's World Series schedule this year.
Yeah.
You've been on every day.
Just about.
Yeah. Mark, you gonna have a heavy schedule? No, I'm gonna take it easy this season. Every time I look.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
on the air.
I'm not here till 11 o'clock. I'm not here 7 a.m. to 11 p.m.
No, that's true.
I'm doing better.
Now, here comes the other guy.
Kenny Einiger.
Kenny Einiger.
I can't get rid of this guy.
He just got knocked out. But you're cash, right? You're a millionaire maker?
No, this was what is it, the turbo today.
Oh, so you didn't make the money.
So Kenny Einiger.
Kenny Einiger out again.
It's another bad beat
Kenny,
story.
you ought to
That's
sponsor
$10.
me. I'm running good.
Matt Stout is here. Man, Matt, can we get Matt on the show real quick?
Hold on. I got to talk to Kenny anyway.
Because if you want to, Jesse Capps is over here flipping the hell out about, he gets knocked out of a tournament. This guy right here, as he gets, I got to move over a little bit, by the way. This guy right here is making humorous tweets about how his World Series has gone. Has it improved, Matt?
I'm now 0 for 10.
Oh.
I pretty much instantly busted this event as all the others, and I was just thinking that, I think I got 2 to 3 more witty, humorous tweets in me about this before it starts getting ugly.
Yeah.
I started out last World Series of Poker 0 for 15. So, and then it was either 0 for 15 or 0 for 14. Then on my 15th or 16th event, I final tabled. So.
Yeah.
I took third in a 1500 all limit for 170. It always seems to turn around, and I actually just texted my friend back. He's like, "How's your series going?" I was like, "Same as it always does. It seems to start 0 for 10, but I expect it to end the same way it always seems to lately as well." So,
yeah,
I mean, the real way to look at it that I think people overlook is that it's 30 tournaments, 40 tournaments that you're going to play the whole summer if you play like a heavy schedule, and. That's the equivalent of a Sunday session online for me when I used to play like pre-Black Friday on PokerStars and Full Tilt. So, I mean, to me, this is like, if I have a bad summer, it's the same to me as having a bad Sunday online to my ego. To my bankroll, it stings a hell of a lot more.
Yeah.
But ego-wise, you have to keep everything in perspective. You don't want to put too much emphasis on your short-term results because it can be really frustrating, especially in tournaments where you're going to cash 20% of the time if you're great in 10% payout structures. So, and even then, you're not going to be happy unless you final table top 3. Some people aren't going to be happy unless they win it. So, I mean, you just kind of have to take it for what it is. You have to understand the variance involved in tournaments, and you have to just kind of stay positive even when the short-term results aren't what you expect in order to keep your frame of mind where it needs to be successful going forward. There's a lot of people where you can just see how demoralized they are toward the end of June, early July. Some people are just like completely destroyed by the time the main event comes around, and I just don't want to be that guy, which is why I haven't been running around town playing a bunch of other tournaments when I bust or on my days off. I'm spending time on the couch with my dogs. I'm in my hot tub. I'm trying to get out to Lake Mead and go jet skiing. And I'm just trying to relax, enjoy the summer, and just focus on getting enough sleep, being mentally prepared and focused to play my best in all these bracelet events.
There you go.
Go on.
Well, now I wanted to
You're
ask
good
you,
at questions.
because
Yeah.
you had a terrific moment outside of here a few months ago where you finally, after a little bit of a drought, put a win on the board down at Seminole Hard Rock, which I got to cover, where you were in a Final Four that was just ridiculous. With you beat Jason Mercier heads up. You had Shannon Shore and Darryl Fish on that table.
Yeah, that was
an
the toughest
amazing,
match I've ever had.
amazing night for you.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean that was. I mean, I won for 54,000 with no chop, which was pretty awesome in and of itself. But just to beat those guys was especially inflating to the ego. Definitely is a good confidence booster when I'd had a lot of nice scores and six-figure scores, top threes, had second place in bracelet events and stuff. But it had been several years since I had an outright win in a live tournament. So having that win, and especially against that class of players when we all kind of started with somewhat similar stacks four-handed, and really battled it out. There were no real coolers. We all kind of were playing small ball and just trying to just play our best. So it was definitely really nice to be able to come out on top in that one. And then chopping the Borgata Million in April was also like especially important to me. I mean, even though I didn't win that one, it was for a lot more money, but it's also my home casino, and I kind of had somewhat dismal results all throughout the years. I mean, I'd had I shouldn't say dismal, but I took 7th in their 2,700 main event or something for 50, 60 grand once. But other than that, I hadn't made a final table and had any kind of decent score there since I was 22. So 8 years.
Wow.
And that was only a 4th place and a 750 buy-in or something for, I don't know, 25, 30 grand if I recall correctly. But it was really nice, especially because I had made a couple deep runs in the Borgata Million, and it really means a lot to me on home turf. And I was starting to get embarrassed. It was at the beginning of that series, when I was on day 1 of that Borgata Million, because it's the opening event. Will O'Connor, the blogger, wrote a post about how feared I am in Atlantic City, but how dismal my results were there. And just started pointing out how few real scores I'd had at Borgata. And I was like, thanks, Will. Someone sent me a screen. I didn't read it myself, but then someone just sent me a screenshot of it to rub the salt in the wound. And I was like, you know what? Screw Will O'Connor. I'm going to final table this thing. I love Will. He's awesome.
Yeah, there
but,
you go.
I had to spite him a little there.
Yeah, just a tad.
Oh, what do you got to say now, buddy? 3-handed chop. I don't even care about the money. You keep the money at the cage. I just wanted to prove Will wrong.
There you go.
Prove that I didn't suck at Borgata.
Nice. So now this World Series, obviously a little bit of a shaky start, but a lot of great
events. A
events.
little bit of a shaky start. I put in a grand total of 20 or less hours in 10 events. That's different.
See,
than
now
shaky.
I went the other way. I'm trying to be nice here.
You're
but
a gentleman.
I do my best, sir.
Live feeding?
Yeah.
Are people watching me drink my smoothie?
Yeah.
I thought I was being subtle.
That's all right. This show has been just crazy anyway, so just do whatever you got to do. I
might break out All-American Dave's Mahi then in that case. Got some orange chili mahi just waiting in the bag with some veggies and rice just waiting to be destroyed for lunch. But I was like, Mark Hook, you gotta
do the show.
Stop by. I'm just gonna walk by, give a wave, see if he wants me to sit down. I don't want to bug him while he's on the air. If not, that'll be my normal operating procedure when I bust. I'll start coming out this way instead of cutting through Brasilia.
Yeah. It's a safe thing to do. Well, what are some of the events you have coming up that you're looking forward to? I mean, everybody with so many different events and new things on the schedule this year. What What are you kind of keying on here at this point?
PLO, 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 and PLO.
Okay.
I love No Limit and all, but I'm kind of, I wouldn't say bored with it. It still intrigues me. It's still fun to talk hands sometimes and in some interesting spots with good players. But I'm starting to get to the point where I almost wish that every PLO tournament, right? Every No Limit tournament was a PLO tournament,
Yeah.
and then we just had the occasional No Limit tournaments. Like if the No Limit and PLO would just flip flop, that would be perfect.
There
for
you
me.
go. I'd be down
But
with that.
I'm always looking forward to the 6 Max No Limit events. They're my favorite form of No Limit, and just that and PLO, the 5K 6 Max, the 1K, the 1500, 10K 8 Max. I think I'm going to skip the 25K High Roller PLO because I think that's one that I might still be outclassed in. But I just even if I'm like very slightly plus EV in it, it's not worth it to gamble in that spot in a 25K buy-in. Whereas I'm probably going to play the 111K one drop because I think there's value in that event.
There you go.
So I definitely wasn't going to try to play both of them and put myself too much on the line shot taking at the World Series this year. But you know, you don't want to. Like I said earlier, it's like the equivalent of having a bad Sunday. So you kind of have to go in bankroll wise and psychologically prepared to just brick everything and make sure that it's not going to impact your life and you're still going to be able to offer everything and be like, all right, well, I'm going to go on vacation and relax after the World Series. You're not going to be like, well, it's time to grind 1-3 No Limit until I can get back up to 2-5 and then, restart the whole process all over again.
Yeah. Well, speaking of getting out on vacation, I mean, even technically it won't be a vacation. We got an event coming up at Seminole Hard Rock. We got the $5 million guarantee freeze out coming up. Plus, yeah, there you go. Dave will be happy about that. I love Dave, so it's all good.
He's
right
sponsoring
there.
my charity event. Of course, we got to get him on.
There you go. Here, we'll back it up. There we go.
Speaking of the chat,
there we go. And we got the charity series of poker event coming up down there. So tell everybody a little bit about that one.
We have one coming up here too.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, I forgot. That's
we'll
terrible.
talk about both of them.
Yeah.
If I must.
You may.
I may.
Feel free.
I must.
Knock yourself
I feel
out.
I must. I'm going to be organizing an event here on July 5th, which is day 1A of the World Series main event. It's held at Planet Hollywood on the mezzanine, which is like the escalator up from the casino, where they run all the famous series tournaments right now. It's going to be a $330 buy-in with $100 rebuys and add-ons, and half the prize pool goes to 3 Square Food Bank. We're going to be doing a couple other fun things this year that we didn't do last year, including a rake-free charity cash game alongside the charity event.
Oh, nice.
And
There you
a
go.
50-50 to benefit 3 Square as well. So 3 Square, for those of those people who don't know, is Las Vegas's only food bank. And every dollar that we raise for 3 Square becomes 3 meals to local people in need.
Nice.
So, I like supporting other charities and more international stuff, and I'm going to be playing the 111K one drop, like I said, but I also think it's important to support the people that are near you and, try to do some good in the local community as well as afar. So that's going to be a real fun event. We raised $14,605 last year for that event.
Nice. Good for you.
So 43,000 plus meals. So, and we had a drunken good time going all in blind.
Exactly.
Buying every hand. We're going to have bounties as prizes on the pros. James Woods is confirmed for the Planet Hollywood event. Working on a few other celebrities, and then we have a whole slew of pros who are coming to the Vegas event, including Paul Wasika, Matt Salzberg. Man, I'm unprepared. I would have to look at the list.
It's a shite load of great
Yeah,
players.
you can check out the website on CharitySeriesOfPoker.org, and then there's a drop-down menu. You can go to events and then event 4, and there's a bunch of info posted. We're still updating it with the details that have recently been finalized. But it's going to be a blast, and it's a nice day right after the 4th of July to kind of recover. It's usually the smallest flight of the main event, so I assume it's going to be the toughest. A lot of recreational players want to come in last minute and kind of stay as little time as possible. And the World Series is already such a long event that you already have to schedule like a week if you make day 3. So I think that it'll be a nice time to kind of recover, get up late. It doesn't start till 7 p.m., cocktail hour with all the pros and celebrities, and anyone who's pre-registered for the tournament will be at 5:30, and it's sponsored by All American Dave. So he's a good guy. Aside from giving us an opportunity to eat well at the World Series, he's also genuinely got altruistic motivations, wants to help out with the CSOP a lot. So I've really appreciated all of his help, and it's going to be nice to finally get to have him cater for one of our cocktail hours while we all loosen up and get ready to fire in some rebuys.
There you go.
Then the Hard Rock event will be August 14th, I believe, the night before the 5K 5 million guaranteed. So anyone who's coming down to play in the 5 million guaranteed can come. Last year PokerStars sponsored our event. We had 3 Miami Heat players, Nathan Morris from Boys to Men, Joanna Krupa, and Karen Sierra from Real Housewives of Miami. Whole bunch of pros, main event champs. And we got over 100 players down there. Generated 30K prize pool and raised 15 grand for Habitat for Humanity down there. And we expect to do it bigger and better this year. Gonna have a few more celebrities. Hopefully PokerStars gets involved again, and we'll be able to raise even more for Habitat than we did last year. And I'm trying to remember who took second place in that event.
He was a sexy son of a bitch, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I was standing there salivating at the final table, just thinking. All I was doing was like just holding the guitar trophy, thinking about stealing it, but thinking it would be in poor form, being that I'm the founder of the CSOP.
Yeah.
So I decided against stealing the trophy, but I was like, man, who is that sexy person who's going to take second place? It was Mark Hoke. That's
How about that?
It wasn't. I was not fixated on Joanna Krupa, who was at the final table of our CSOP event.
She was
eating crab legs.
Yes, she was too. Yeah.
You know.
She was feeding everybody. That was pretty cool.
She was having a blast.
Yeah.
She was more than a little tipsy, and I think she was hungry for crab.
Yeah, just a little.
Needless to say, there was butter being spilled on her opponents. Melted butter was spilled on someone in the middle of a hand. It was magical.
Yes, it was. It was a great time.
Good times. So, what else? The Hard Rock. I just can't wait to get down to Florida where it doesn't get so unbearably hot. There's actually beaches. It's a little nicer out.
Yeah.
I got to get out to Lake Mead in the meantime to kind of ease
chill
my
out.
mind in between. Finally just spewed and bought a jet ski. Still haven't gotten it down to the lake yet.
Oh, wow.
Trevor Pope's the worst. Yeah, it's like the first time that he's taken 3 or 4 days off from going to Lake Mead in the past like 5 years. He's not even playing tournaments either. He played like 1 or 2.
Wow.
But hopefully we make it down there tomorrow. If I'm going to bust again really, really early in an event, it needs to be tomorrow. Because then, and then I can make it down to the lake, get the ski in the water, and just have it sitting there anytime I want to go down there on my walk of shame. Make it a 45-minute drive of shame straight to Lake Mead, jet ski up to the back of the Hoover Dam, have lunch.
That's
a
not so
rough
bad.
life.
Not bad at all.
The other thing I was saying, I guess I don't really mind. Any tournament I'm not going to bust, I do want to bust in the first 2 or 3 hours at worst because, I mean, like I said on Twitter the other day, I really don't want to ruin my hourly rate. So I've just been snap busting things like a true professional to keep my hourly rate intact. You know, of course, that does make my negative hourly a lot higher for now.
Yeah, that is the
But this is all
downside.
predicated on the assumption that I'm going to, you know, profit one of these days.
One of these times. You will.
Stop instantly busting everything. It's not a guarantee, but, you know, either way, as long as I feel I played my best and I have fun with it, I'm going to have a good summer.
That's all you can do.
Just got to make sure I'm not going to go broke, which I did by setting everything up beforehand,
Yeah.
Spreadsheets, worst case scenario, thinking in late April, early May, that type of thing.
Sounds like a plan. Well, Matt, I hope
getting
you're
hungry.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I hope the rest of the World Series goes a little bit better for you.
Me
A
too,
lot of people
man.
out there rooting for you. You're one of the most popular and well-loved players out there, and the great work that you do with the charity series of poker. I mean,
appreciate
it's
it, Mark.
a sincere charity that I know. A lot of charity events, people don't. Charities don't necessarily get what they really should out of it. But I know that you do a great job with what you're doing, and I know a lot of people appreciate it, and you're doing wonders for all these people you're helping. So congratulations on that.
Thanks, man. I take pride on the fact that we haven't paid a single dollar to any of our employees. I'm obviously not getting paid. We're laying out our own money for expenses, and everything we raise is going straight to our target charities from the casino. We don't even get involved and take the money, so we don't have control of it to begin with. So, I mean, everything's always on the up and up. I've already told various people, including Matt Savage and Jack Effel, they're always welcome to have the passwords to my bank accounts and take a look at my books. There's never going to be anything to hide.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Matt, and best of luck the rest of the World
Thanks,
Series,
man.
my
I
friend.
appreciate it.
Good to see you. Enjoy that mahi-mahi.
Oh, man, I can't wait. The mahi has been exceptional this year.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to get some. Absolutely.
All right, buddy.
There you go. Matt Stout stopping by, everyone. And make sure you guys seriously check out CharitySeriesOfPoker.com. And, of course, I think it's CSOP on Twitter or somewhere in there. I'll just have to check that for you real fast. Heck, I'll do that right now. So quickly. Hang on a second. Trying to find it so we make sure we get the right one for you. The CSOP on Twitter. And hopefully you get out for that event here in Vegas and the one down in at Seminole Hard Rock as well. Wow, what a show today. We barreled a 2-hour one off this afternoon, and we want to thank all of you for joining us. A great time. Matt Stout, Jesse Capps, Dutch Boyd, Bobby Boyd stopping in, Joe Payne coming on too. Great show this afternoon. Guys, and we will be back. We may be taking the tomorrow off. If we do, we're doing a show in the evening around 8 o'clock. We will see you. But otherwise, there's a possibility we're going to take one day off and try and relax a little bit and recoup from what has been an amazing World Series of Poker so far and much more to come. So I want to thank all of you for joining us. And don't forget, follow the show on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show. We also, of course, have our podcasts up on iTunes and on markhokeshow.podbean.com, which, by the way, when you Google Mark Hoke, is the /1 site on Google. So that's pretty cool. Very nice. We got all the Mark Hoke speed out there at least. And, of course, on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, you can catch us on KSHP 1400 AM in Las Vegas and KSHP.com around the world. So everybody comes up here and says, "Oh, I can't listen to your show." You can listen to my show. Yeah, this is the 2000s plus. You can got that internet thing. But thanks you all for joining us. We do appreciate it. And we will see you our next edition of the Mark Hoke Show. It'll be tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, or we'll be back on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Have a great evening, everyone, and we will see you next time on the Mark Hoke Show. Have a good afternoon.